So you're thinking about moving to Ohio. Today, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly on moving to Ohio. Hi, I'm Lydia Rowe with Keller Williams Hometown Realty, and I have found that when it comes to moving to Ohio, or moving to a new place in general, there's a serious lack of information out there on the internet. If I were going to be moving, I'd want a friend on the ground in an area I'm moving to, who knows all the ins and outs and can help me make the best decision for me or my family. So guys, I'm that friend. I'm a realtor, so I have all the best information on the area, but because I'm not your realtor, at least not yet, you can trust that I'm giving you the inside scoop and not holding back on the truth just to make a sale. So what can you expect when moving to Ohio? Let's jump in. The good. There is much to love about living in Ohio. One of my favorites is the changing seasons. Although I'm personally not a huge fan of the winter here, the spring and fall is to die for. And the summers are warm and sometimes humid, but not so hot that you feel like you're going to suffocate like in Florida. And winter, if you're into that sort of thing, is cold enough to get a few good snowfalls and do all the snow things like building snowmen, sledding, snowball fights, and snow angels. If you're in the northern Ohio, you get a lot more snow, FYI, and it lasts longer. My daughter loves the snow. I personally just want to hibernate through it all and wake up in the spring. I also love the idea of eating all that you can for a while and then waking up with your fat stores depleted. That seems like a really great idea to me. Okay, moving on. Another great thing about Ohio is that it has some amazing and beautiful parks and things to do. We don't have mountains, well, foothills. Yeah, not mountains. But if waterfalls and lush green woods and flowing rivers and miles of hiking trails is your thing, you cannot miss the Hocking Hills. You can camp or grab a cabin or Airbnb and hit the trails to discover some of the most beautiful places around. I grew up in Ohio and had never heard of the Hocking Hills, and when I first went there about 10 years ago, I was blown away. It's like you're in a whole nother world out there. And the old man from Old Man's Cave's last name is Rowe, so I'm pretty sure that somehow I'm related, at least my husband is. If the beach is more your thing, head up by the Port Clinton area, specifically some of the islands off of Lake Erie like Put-in Bay, Kelly's Island, for all the sunsets and sunrises, kayaking, boat rides, fishing, bike riding, and laying out you can handle. This is another place I had no idea existed until recently, and I love it. Amish Country near Millersburg, Ohio is a tranquil area perfect for a farm getaway. Buy some furniture or a quilt while you're there. Relax, unwind, delicious family-owned restaurants, theater and entertainment. It really is a scene like no other, and it's all right here in Ohio. So those are some of the highlights, but really all throughout Ohio, you're gonna find beautiful landscapes, lakes, parks, and a rich history. Ohio has a relatively low cost of living too. Check out what $300,000 can buy you as of the date of this video. Not bad, huh? And the last thing I'll mention as a good thing about Ohio is the people. Ohioans tend to have a great sense of humor and are generally pretty laid back, and we do not have accents. Except if you're from Cleveland, where they add a few syllables to words like Saturday. Let's move on to the bad. Is Ohio boring? Well, that depends on who you ask, but since we don't have the oceans or mountains, some think cornfields aren't very interesting. From Dayton, Ohio, you can get to several ocean beaches in about 10 hours. For some reason, lots of folks from Ohio vacation in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It is very beautiful. But Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Ocean City, New Jersey are about the same distance, and Destin, Florida, and Savannah, Georgia are just a little bit longer. Another bad, unless you really like surprises, Ohio weather. Let's just say it is very unpredictable. You know you're in Ohio when it's 80 degrees one day and 40 the next. And no, I'm not exaggerating. That actually happened last month. Or you head out on a beautiful clear day with no cloud in the sky and get hit by a tornado. Okay, that is exaggerating, but the weather can be a little gray in the transition seasons. Now I put this in the bad category, but really it could be in the ugly or the good, depending on your feelings about it. Just know that Ohioans tend to make certain grocery and department stores possessive. So it might be Meijer or Kroger or JCPenney in other states. But here, it's Meijers, Kroger's, and JCPenney's. Also, if corn is not your thing, you might reconsider Ohio. It is everywhere. Now the ugly. Let's talk about the fact that there is road construction everywhere at all times. And on top of that, there's potholes, which means you may need to have your car tires balanced and rotated more than you did in another area. The plus side is commutes are generally very reasonable, and traffic, even in the bigger cities, isn't so terrible. But road construction does seem never ending. Okay, the next one. Oh, I don't even want to say the word. Cicadas. If you have never heard of a little bug called a cicada, you can Google it. These little creatures overtake parts of Ohio every 17 years, and the last emergence, was 2021. So you don't need to worry about this until 2038, but you might want to plan a long summer vacation for that year. There were some days I couldn't walk out of my house without getting hit in the head with one of these bugs, and they're loud. If this bugs you, but you still want to move to Ohio, just make sure to do your research on the specific area and neighborhood you choose, because they are way worse in some areas than others. The last ugly for moving to Ohio is the deer dodging. We have a lot of deer people, and if you drive at night, you are going to need to watch out for these critters, even on the highway. Roadkill in general, I'll just add, as you can't go too many back roads and not find a dead raccoon, possum, or skunk by the side of the road. So if after hearing about all the good, bad, and ugly of moving to Ohio, you are still interested in moving here, you might want to check out some of my other videos like why Tipp City is one of the best towns in Ohio to live, or visit my website www.listwithlydia.com to check out what real estate is available in the areas you're interested in. And as always, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or could use some help with your move. Although I specialize in the Dayton, Ohio area, I am connected to an extensive network of realtors who are experts in their hometowns all over Ohio and the US that I'd be happy to hook you up with. Talk to you soon.